First off, let's clarify the difference between being a tour guide and a tour director. While you can be both, they have relatively distinct responsibilities. As a tour guide, you provide in-depth commentary, storytelling, and local expertise at a specific site, city, or region. As a tour director, you manage the overall logistics, flow, and guest experience of a multi-day trip, often across multiple cities or countries. Think of the tour director as the conductor of an orchestra, and the tour guide as the soloist who steps in to dazzle. I do both, and you should too. Here's why. Tour director jobs are harder to get and often require that you've had some experience as a guide. When I first started working as a tour director, I might get one tour director job a month, which meant I had to find other work to survive. I filled in the gaps in my schedule by working as a local guide. In fact, that was one of the ways I got the experience to become a tour director. What do I like about being a guide? I honestly wasn't interested in being a tour director at first because I relished the idea of coming home at the end of each day and having a glass of wine in the comfort of my home. Additionally, days as a tour guide have a fixed number of hours, usually fitting between 9 to 5. If you had a difficult client, no problem. At the end of the day, you'll never see him again. The tours are usually similar, so you get to practice the same content over and over. That's why you become the local expert. That and the fact that you spend most of your life there, so you know all the local goings-on, which is what people often ask about. Of course, being a local guide means you have to maintain a home base in your area of expertise. That's where being a tour director comes in for me. I love being a nomad. Because I'm frequently on tour, I don't have to keep a residence, which means no rent, no utility bills, no maintenance expenses, not even a car. I just have to find a place to stay in between tours, which is rarely more than a week each month. I'll cover how I do that in another video. Companies usually fly me to where the tour begins, whether it's San Francisco, Seattle, or Denver, and as long as I fly back to a city within my region, they pay for that too. I've been able to arrange it so I can fly from Seattle to Denver and then on to San Francisco after the tour. This means that I can use my repositioning flights to get free flights to places I want on vacation. In some cases, they even let me buy my own tickets and reimburse me, which means I can add miles to my own credit card. Now, as a tour director, you are responsible for every aspect of a trip once it begins. That includes coordinating hotels, restaurants, and activities. Because you're responsible for all these logistics, you're responsible for solving problems if arrangements in any of these areas fail. If you have two unrelated people placed in a hotel room with one bed, that's a problem you've got to solve. If you have a restaurant that you reserved that turns out it's part of a chain and the location you picked is in a different part of the state than you're planning to go, then you've got to solve that problem. If you have a place that's closed because of a plumbing issue or electric issue, then you've got to figure out where to take everybody. And while you're dealing with this, you've got as many as 50 people expecting you to solve that problem for them. You have to be agile and patient as you work with staff and guests, doing your best to keep everyone happy. If this is not for you, you should probably stick to being a tour guide. But if you shine in the face of obstacles, being a tour director might be your gig. For me, it's a little of both, and the percentage of time I spend doing each has changed over the years. But I have dialed it in so that I have the most flexible life possible. And now, I have enough experience that I can pick the tours that I want and decline the ones I don't, knowing I'll make enough to only have to work 6 months of the year. Are you ready to decide? Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below.